2020 started off great. It was the start of a new decade. We were just coming off of a high from our Hora Hapak tour and the homecoming show with Kai in the fall, and now we were gearing up for Canada's National Ukrainian Festival. We also had a new guest instructor from Ukraine, Andriy Demischuk.
Practices with Andriy were some of the most challenging practices I've ever had to do as a dancer. But at the same time, they were some of the most enjoyable ones as well.
There was many moments where his passion and love for dance would rub off on us, and it would help us remember what we love about dancing and why we still dance.
With Andriy, we began working on a new Hopak that we were going to debut at Canada's National Ukrainian Festival this past summer.
So we were all very excited as an ensemble for that opportunity, and it looked like we were going to have another successful year.
The first time I heard about COVID-19 would have most likely been in November, December.
At that time, we actually said, could you imagine if this became something that was global? Little did we know we'd be sitting here now in the middle of a pandemic.
The first time that Manitoba announced that we were going into lockdown, I don't really think I knew what was going on. I didn't really understand.
I think that the main thing that I was thinking was, how on earth are we going to create a normal life when things have been turned upside down? Dancing makes all of us feel normal. Going to dance twice a week makes all of us feel normal. And so I think a lot of us were nervous about what Rusalka was going to look like and how we were going to create that normal while keeping it as safe as possible.
After our last rehearsal in March, we were on a hiatus. We were at a standstill. We couldn't get back into the hall. We didn't have any real plan on how to move forward. And Andriy Demischuk was our guest instructor at the time, and we had to say goodbye to him to go back home to Ukraine to his family. And from there, we really weren't sure what was going to happen.
Today, we are starting an online training course for all Rusalka dancers.
The virtual practices we had in April were great. Even though Andriy was thousands of miles away, he was still able to provide a high level of instruction while making practices fun.
During the week, he would send a variety of different videos, such as different bar exercises and floor work, which we would have to practice on our own.
While it was challenging to dance from home, it was beneficial to have virtual practices to keep our bodies moving and to keep Rusalka moving forward as a group.
It got us moving again. It got us kind of out of the funk that I think a lot of us were in during March.
My least favorite part about Zoom rehearsals is the fact that we have to dance in our basement.
Probably whenever we have an unstable internet connection.
One of my least favorite things is just not being with everyone, not being in the hall.
When Rusalka announced that we would be trying outdoor rehearsals, I was super excited. Although it would look a little bit different.
Even though you're social distance, it made a difference in your spirit and your energy, being able to be with one another, see each other, hear the music all together, and just be able to connect. One thing that we all love about dancing is being able to dance together. And I think that dancing at the park was a way that we were able to do that.
As the summer rolled around, we were still unable to have group gatherings, so it looked like all of our summer events were going to be cancelled.
I was really disappointed when I found out that all of our events for the summer were cancelled. I know all of the dancers look forward to hosting Rusalka's dance camp, performing at Folklorama, and doing all the other great events that we usually do.
I've never been to the Dauphin Festival, so I was looking forward to experiencing it for the first time as well as performing.
But even though all of our in-person activities and events were canceled, we were still able to participate in different ways.
It's important for Rusalka to continue participating in virtual festivals and events because really it's the only way during these unprecedented times throughout the pandemic that we are still able to perform. And it's really important to stay connected with the community despite not being able to connect with them in person.
Getting Rusalka back into UNF Hall was a lot of work. We didn't know what that meant. A lot of conversations with other organizations, with Manitoba Health, with other dance groups across the country and in Manitoba.
So in October, we would have to fill out a screening form in advance, show up to the hall. We would have to put all of our personal items in specified cubbies. We all had separated spaces on the floors, which was very different. There was no group work. And in addition, we were always told to keep a distance, which again, when you're used to dancing with a group, was a little bit different than what we're used to.
I think my biggest fear was that we wouldn't do enough. We wouldn't have enough in place to make everybody safe.
I was very excited when I found out Dimitri was going to be our instructor. He's very knowledgeable in both ballet and Ukrainian dancing that I was really looking forward to learning from him.
Dancing with the mask was certainly a different experience, but it was the safest one that we needed to do to dance.
Definitely felt like I was working harder to do the same stuff that I would normally do in a regular practice.
Going back to in-class rehearsals was almost like a relief.
I had a little bit of hesitance at first going to in-person rehearsals, but once I was there, I had felt reassurance that there was the utmost care and sincerity towards the dancers.
At the time, I felt eager to get back to UNF and to dancing, but I was also apprehensive and knew that things could change very quickly.
I love Zoom rehearsals with Dimitri because it's kind of like a fresh new take on rehearsals as a whole.
My favorite part about Zoom classes with Tara has been the fact that it's just so different from what we usually do in our rehearsals. It's very conditioning, very mindful as well, and calming.
I think that one of the things that this pandemic has forced us to do is to take a step back, not just in the workings of Rusalka, but in our personal lives too. But from a Rusalka perspective, it's really allowed us to take some opportunity to focus in on some of the things that maybe we weren't focusing enough time on. Our alumni, our archives. But I think what's really happened is that it's opened up a lot of our friendships a little bit more, collaborating across the country, collaborating with other organizations. That communication has started to build to be more than what it was before. So I think if nothing else, it's allowed us that time.
Project CARE was a collaboration between the Ukrainian Canadian Congress and the UNF Winnipeg branch. The purpose of this initiative was to deliver self-care packages to Ukrainian Canadian seniors who are living independently in Manitoba.
Rusalka had the opportunity to come to UNF Hall one day and put things like packages of Kleenexes, masks, bottles of hand sanitizers, etc. into a care package, and then those care packages were delivered to the seniors in the community.
I think it's important that Rusalka takes part in community initiatives because the community supports us and allows us to do what we love, which is dance. And in turn, we would like to support the community in any way we can.
At the beginning of the dance season, we had the opportunity to dance alongside the Junior Rusalka Ensemble for our Welcome Back picnic. As one of the instructors for Junior Rusalka, I believe it was a great opportunity for the students to see what it was really like to be a member of the ensemble, and as a dancer of Rusalka, it was great to dance alongside the future of our group.
Some of us had the opportunity to do some instruction and help teach. It was a great opportunity for us to get together. It was a great way to see the younger group interact with Rusalka. I had a great time and I hope UNF School did as well.
The connection between young students and the current ensemble members is something that will have a lasting effect. The students of the school look up to the ensemble members with admiration, appreciation, and hope.
As a guest instructor with the UNF School of Dance, I would say that our main goal for those rehearsals was to really be there to encourage the dancers.
I think it's very important that the ensemble keeps a really good connection with the school so that we hopefully inspire the young dancers to one day join Rusalka.
In a year where we've just all been kind of disconnected in different ways, this felt like a really great opportunity to be able to form that connection again and make some new friends. It was a truly wonderful night, and I'm very happy that I did it.
The alumni had an opportunity to join the ensemble for a virtual dance class. It's super important for Rusalka alumni and the current ensemble members to get together for activities and events.
The Rusalka and Kalina meet and greet was a very exciting experience. It was really exciting to get to meet all of the dancers who also share UNF roots, just like Rusalka does. I think that you learn a lot from dancing or collaborating with other groups. You learn different work ethics, different ways of approaching problems, different styles, different choreography, and different personalities. All these things, I think, bring a greater insight to your dance group and definitely benefit the ensemble and all the collaborators as a whole.
One word that I would use to describe this year is change.
Resilience.
Different.
Challenging.
Unpredictable. Rusalka obviously faced a lot of challenges this year, and we were not able to do a lot of the things that we're used to doing in the way that we are traditionally used to doing them.
Christmas activities from December of 2019 to 2020, there's no doubt there's a difference. But Rusalka always finds a way.
As we move into December, into early January, of course, there's Christmas caroling, which is always a fun and energetic event. We are still having caroling virtually. We are still doing the open house.
Comparing last year's open house to this year's, it's definitely different. I think open house is such a great time to come together with friends and alumni and supporters of Rusalka and reflect on the year that had passed. And I think even though we can't do a lot of that this year, just being able to showcase a little bit of what we've done over the last little while and still have the spirit of the open house virtually really makes this almost as special as it normally would be.
As I reflect on the past year, my feelings towards this all are mainly pride. I'm proud of Rusalka and how we've responded to the uncertain world and uncertain times.
The spirit of Rusalka doesn't die when we can't get together in person. That the spirit of Rusalka is bigger than that, and it's stronger than that. And I think, if anything, the message is clear that Rusalka's gotten stronger over this and that we can weather the storm.
2020 has also shown us that we definitely wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for the people that continue to support us.
Thank you to the Board of Directors for their dedication and hard work to ensure that Rusalka thrives through this pandemic and for years to come. Thank you to our volunteers who are always ready to help Rusalka wherever necessary and do so with pride.
Thank you to our world-class dance instructors for leading Rusalka and inspiring dancers to grow.
Thank you to our donors for their unwavering financial support.
Thank you to our alumni for staying connected with Rusalka and supporting us in all our endeavors.
Thank you to the Rusalka UNF School of Dance for educating the next generation of Rusalka dancers. You continue to offer excellent instruction despite all the challenges brought on by COVID-19.
I think Rusalka has grown in many ways over the past year. The ongoing pandemic has shown that we still can do things together. You know, we've incorporated the alumni, we've brought back the school in many ways, and we've also stayed connected with our community. But we do have to remember that COVID-19 is still present. It's present in our world and it'll be here for a while, but we're learning to live with it and we're learning to move forward. Hopefully these restrictions can get lifted soon so we can go back to the hall where we all belong.
My name is Brittany Lasko and I've been dancing in Rusalka for 12 years.
My name is Alexia Sinsky and I've been dancing with Rusalka for 4 years.
Hi there, my name is Jackson Garrick and I've been dancing with Rusalka for 2 years.
My name is Michaela Kanish and I've been dancing with Rusalka for 9 years.
Hello, my name is Alexander Karpa and I've been in Rusalka for 6.5 years.
My name is Megan Fry and I've been in Rusalka for 3 years.
Hi, I'm Zach Prechuk and I've been in Rusalka for just over 2 years.
My name's Caitlin Turchin and I've been dancing with Rusalka for 8 years.
Hi, I'm Matthew Picklick and I've been in Rusalka for 4 years.
My name is Lily Medinska and I've been dancing in Rusalka for 7 years.
My name is Sikla Selka and I've been dancing in Rusalka for 7 years.
Hi, my name is Leanne Carasel and I've danced with Rusalka for 9 years.
Hi, I'm Alexander Grinzio and I've been dancing with Rusalka for 1 year.
My name's Janelle Pashko and I've been dancing in Rusalka for 2 years.
Hi, my name is Alexander Sernetsky and I've been dancing in Rusalka for 4 years.
Hi, my name is Oksana Prechuk and I've been in Rusalka Ukrainian Dance Ensemble for about 4 years.
My name's Thiessen Thompson and I've been dancing for 4 years.
Hi, my name is Katherine Kuzik and I've been dancing in Rusalka for 9 years.
My name is Luke Savard and I've been dancing in Rusalka for 2.5 years.
Hi, my name is Angelika Malo. I've been dancing with Rusalka since the end of 2019.
My name is Dylan Turchin and I've been dancing for Rusalka for 8 years.
My name is Nadia Medinska and I've been a dancer for Rusalka since November of 2020.
Hi, I'm Capri Darenchak and I've been dancing in the group for 2 years.
Hey, my name is Brett Ordesky and I've been dancing with Rusalka for 5 years.
Hi, my name is Anista Karpa and I've been in Rusalka for 9 years.
I'm Matkia Maximuk and I've been dancing for 6 years.
Hi, my name is Larissa Yakumotsky and I have been dancing in Rusalka for 5.5 years.
We at Rusalka are grateful for all of you, our audience. Because of your support and participation, our existence has purpose, meaning, a destination, opportunity, and a future. You give Rusalka life, a reason to be, to continue, to stay together and dance the story that is Rusalka. Thank you for being part of this incredible family in dance. You are essential to us.
Thank you.